Hello, hello, hello. I wanted to do a little shout out to the OG 21 Accents 12 years ago. In light of this Vanity Fair video that many of you may have seen, I'll put a little link in the chat. Or if somebody has a link you want to pop it in. I'm just so touched and grateful and overwhelmed that there are so many of you who've been watching my channel through all the escapades for 12 years. That's amazing, and it means so much to me. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. And I wanted to see how you're doing in these times. Let me know if you have any questions about it, and just tell you a little bit about what the journey has been like for me, why I put up that initial video, and maybe answer some questions you have about the content that I do these days for accent stuff. So to talk about accent stuff for a moment, you could liken this to, I'm an actor, and it'd be like if a basketball player is studying ball technique and dribbling and all these cool things to make them a better basketball player, and then suddenly people catch on to the ball tricks that they do, and it's like, look at these ball tricks, and they're saying, yes, but I'm a basketball player. So for me, that's why I veered off of doing so many different accent videos, because that took sort of the focus off of why I do it at all, which is to be authentic in characters and when I'm playing characters. So if you're looking for more accent stuff, of course I will do it as it applies to my characters, and I might throw in a little tip now and then, because I do get fascinated by the mechanics of it as well, as you may have gleaned. But I'm not so much into just teaching or talking about the accents. I like to do it, but it's most of my energy, my creative energy, goes into writing and producing and acting and creating these characters and stories that mean so much to me. So that said, I'm happy to also answer your accent questions. But that was what surprised me when I first made that video, 21 Accents. Maybe you've seen it, maybe not. It was back in the the wild, wild west of YouTube, before it was Google, before there were channels and ads and all that. It was a brand new thing, and I had just put a bunch of clips up of a one-woman show, variety show that I did. And I thought, oh gosh, if I wanted to show casting directors, that I can be from wherever the character's from authentically, then maybe I can do a video where I just introduce myself in 21 different accents in a single take and show them, and I can put a link. And so that's where it started. I literally filmed it on my radiator in Philly, balanced on all these books and like an old camcorder, being rattled by the traffic going by. And I had no idea that it was even a possibility to reach so many people. And that really basically changed my life, to be able to connect with you in this way. Hey, you're from Philly. I had a feeling that somebody was. You gonna go get a hoagie and a Coke? Hello, Matteo. Loves and vibes to you, Amanda. Hey, from the UK. How are you doing? Really well. Thank you, Noah. How are you? Hi, Bonker. Oh, fun, fun, fun. To all my accentuated friends, says James. I love it. God bless you, Tarasia. Hi, Sam. Do I do private courses? Yes, you can go to 21accents.com. There's an online course there. And then in between projects, I do coach, and I have other coaches as well who are amazing. So, yeah, if you've seen the Vanity Fair video, if you haven't yet, it's a fun romp. It's a fun romp. I was really grateful to work with them. They're amazing over at Vanity Fair. Such sweet, fabulous people. All their videos are awesome. Totally subscribe to that channel. So many incredible people on there. Yay, love that video. Thank you. It was wonderfully terrifying. It's like, that's some pressure. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And thank you to those of you blessed people who thought it was easy. It was not. I was expecting like, sure, we'll do like 3 to 5 videos and won't that be fun? The list of films was extensive, and to me, because I'm a nerd and I have high expectations, that means that for every one of those people, I'm doing my best to learn not only the accent they were meant to do, but the accent that they have or are doing, and trying to figure that out and guessing what clips we would be using. And it was a total adventure and a thrill. And yeah, it was a good little test for me. I think that it was one of the most fulfilling experiences for me because I like to be fully utilized. I like to pour everything I have into something. And it's really fun. It was reminding me of when I worked with Jack White at his incredible complex in Nashville, and I had no idea what we were gonna do. He didn't want to know. And so I came to his incredible complex and with his awesome team, and he's like, okay, let's just talk. So we talked about things, and he said, here, I've got a newspaper. Why don't you read it in a bunch of accents? Which, if any of you tried to do that, if you haven't, please do. It's really an interesting thing. Because there are certain eccentricities of an accent that if you don't have certain vowels, like if I don't say O in an Aussie accent, it might take you a while to figure out that I'm doing an Aussie. So I have to, I said, okay, give me 5 minutes. It probably was more like 15. So that I can look through and find out which bits would sell, a French accent. Or so because if you don't have certain sounds that would work with that embouchure, you won't know the difference. So I had to go, okay, which bits will really sell that bit and which bits will be a fun challenge to put next to each other. So perhaps you noticed that I went from an Australian accent to a Kiwi accent back to Australian in the original 21 Accents video. I did that because it's flippin' hard. And so I was like, let's challenge myself. So I see people are saying things. Awesome French, thank you. I want to be as good as you, however long it takes. Great, it's just thousands of hours. That's all it takes. Good fun. And because people ask me that all the time, how long does it take? And that's the short answer, is thousands of hours. But what I mean by that doesn't mean that I'm sitting there with my cans recording constantly and watching constantly. It does mean that I'm always paying attention on as many levels as possible. I don't know why I do this. I do this like cat kneading thing when I feel like I'm absorbent. If I meet someone like with a great Glaswegian accent, I'm listening with my mouth as well. So now we're in Australia. Or if I'm watching a video or a film, I'll be listening and like moving the back of my tongue to go, how did they do that, eh? Or when I moved to Australia, it took me about 3 days. And what this takes is courage and permission. That I had to give myself permission to sound different to what I'm used to being Amy Walker. Amy Walker. And it was really fun actually to go, oh, I'm also Amy Walker here, but to listen and really absorb and then try things out and have people go, oh, where are you from? At first, I know that feeling. But then by the 3rd day, I wasn't getting questions anymore. I was just a person. And it still means, there's a lot of jargon in Australia, so you've got to pick that up, It's not a drinking fountain, it's a bubbler. So if you don't know that it's a bubbler, you'll probably say drinking fountain and people might have no bloody idea what you're talking about. So you really have to listen to, oh, okay, that's how they say it. Remember. Yeah, but it's really fun. So in terms of how long it takes, if you'll start really paying attention and recording yourself and listening to what's different and finding all the layers in there. I have some videos about how you can break it down and listen to all the different layers. But if you'll do that and really record yourself, and then you got to test yourself out, man. You got to talk to some people with that native accent, and if they say anything at all, you don't have it yet. And if they just treat you like a normal person, okay, I have to tell this one story. I don't, but I'm gonna. So when I was living in Wellington in New Zealand, gorgeous city, I love it. I was working at this place called then the Regency Cine Lounge. I can't remember. I think they changed it to the Gold Lounge or something. And I was a supervisor there. And when people would come in, I would try and guess, like, did they look American? And then I would just do an American accent. Were they Kiwi? Most of the time I was Kiwi. So this guy came in. I was pretty sure he was American. And so I was just doing, normal American. But as he was talking, he was like, all right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get a dinner. I'm going to get a dessert. I want you to help me out. And I was like, great. So what do you like? And gradually, over the course of a few minutes, I started to work my way into his exact same accent. And when he was saying, okay, so I'm loving this. I would be looking at the desserts. I'm thinking cheesecake. What would you say to that? I was like, then I would have to say that this is not a New York cheesecake. This is definitely a different kind of a thing. I think you would be happier with the chocolate. He'd say, great. What kind of ice creams? And we were talking, and in the end, he was so happy. He just gave me a $20 tip and left, and I was like, whew, it worked. And when you're doing somebody's exact accent, they won't hear an accent. So if they don't hear one, they don't ask you where you're from or anything, then you've nailed it. Anything else, and you're not quite there yet. Hello, how are you? I'm well. How are you? How many Canadian accents are you proficient in? We tend to get overlooked. Bonus points for the Québécois. Not many. I love Canada. I've been to a couple of places. I went to, I don't know, like all the Canadians I meet have different accents. So there are places I haven't actually played a Canadian yet. Hopefully I will. But I've been to Vancouver, and sometimes it's very general North American, except for sorry. And sorry about that. I love that. I went camping in Saskatoon. It was one of my favorite moments with my friend Sander. Love him. And when we just turned 18, and we went on this wild camping trip where we literally got a Pop-O-Matic bubble from a Lucky Charms box and stuck it on the dashboard. And we'd go like, okay, left to right, pop. Or we'd go, okay, left, pop, yes. Or try again, or definitely. And then we would go that way. So we ended up in Saskatoon. And we rang the bell for this guy, so we could pay for our camping spot. And we rang, and we kept ringing and ringing. And he comes out, sorry about that. I was out in the garage. And we both were like, that is so much Canada in one place. But I know that, full disclosure, I've also shied away because I know that sometimes people are sensitive about, we don't have an accent. I'm like, that's fine. That's great. But I love it. I know there are some really great ones up north, eh? Shades of the Nokia accent videos. Yay! Loved you in Vanity Fair's vid. Thank you. So, okay, the Nokia. That was early days before... Was that even before flip phones? Probably. I don't know. Maybe we had flip phones. But Nokia contacted me, I think before I was even SAG, before I was even in the union, the Actors Union. And I was kind of freewheeling, being my own manager with my friend Sander, amazing human being. Seattle Seed Company, if you're looking for seeds. And they contacted me, and I basically ended up writing these things, these accent tip videos, and changing, because their script, a lot of times people will write a script and they'll say, okay, do this in a bunch of accents, but they won't realize that somebody from Australia wouldn't phrase it that way, or from France wouldn't phrase it that way, or whatever. So I have to kind of work it. So they were really great at working with me on going, okay, so I also get paid for writing because I'm writing this. And then I really fought for having the rights to post it on my YouTube channel and put ads. So for those of you in the Wild West of doing your own content, if some big company comes in, do your best to have posting rights for it, or still hold on to the content that you're creating, because that is your valuable property. And I think those videos have had a lot of views. What else we got? First video I saw of yours was years ago, you singing as Ursula. Oh, thank you. I admit that in the past I've been a nasty. They weren't kidding when they called me, well, a witch. But I find that nowadays I've mended all my ways, repented, seen the light, and made a switch true, yes. Why do the villains have all the fun? I always wondered. So much fun. And to be honest, most of my exposure to British accents growing up, and to any accents at all, was through Disney. So thank you, Disney. Thank you, villains. Thank you, Ursula and Maleficent. Did anyone else notice, geeking out when I was 6, that the sound of her cane thing, her staff, that was the same sound as her teeth gnashing when she was a dragon? Such a great sound effect. Thank you. Can I meet you, please, in the US or no? Oh, Merwin. Yeah, I mean, this is about as close as we can get these days, isn't it? But I'm sure I will actually be performing live. It's maybe not totally announced yet, but screw it, you're here. I've mentioned that I was cast in A Doll's House Part 2, which is an incredible, incredible play. And if you can get yourself to Whidbey Island, Washington, which is one of the most gorgeous places on the planet, I will be performing live with an incredible cast. It's an all-out, use everything you've got play set in the late 1800s. It's brilliant. It won 9 Tonys a few years back. The script by Lucas Nath. And yeah, come and we'll do one of those mask-wearing hugs. I will, it's going to be in August. I will post something as soon as it's like officially announced, but that will be awesome. Love your accent videos. Have you ever heard Dutch speaking English with a thick accent, or considered trying to get your mouth around Dutch? I dare you. I dated a wonderful Dutchman. Years ago. I haven't done the accent for a while. There are different ones, and I am partial to the accents from the South. But they're all great. But secretly, I'm partial. Okay, you didn't hear it from me. What do I know in Dutch? What did we read? Groene eieren met ham. Oh, and I can say ja ja. And is een jarig, hoera, hoera. Dat kun je wel zien, dat is you. Whoever. Dat winderen allen zo prettig, ja ja. En daarom zingen wij blij. Hij leven lang, hoera, hoera. Hij leven lang, hoera. Hoera. This is the birthday song, by the way. I live along, hoera, hoera. I love that. Hoera, hoera. Yay, Janae. Okay, so some years ago, I woke up and had a bit of a husky voice. I was getting over something, and I had a little bit of a thing. And so I was, as it tends to happen, if I wake up a little bit sick or a little bit in a different energy, maybe there's a person who wants to come through. So eventually I was walking around and I noticed it wasn't just husky, it was also somebody coming through. And I had about 5 minutes until my next appointment, and I was eating a grapefruit, and I'd recently become raw vegan, and I realized, oh,
I think this is a person. I saw my iPad there and I grabbed it and I flipped it open and I was like, I've got to do something different. So I just moved my hair over here and I went, hello, everybody, I'm Janae. And that's how I knew my name was Janae. And I started talking about this wonderful snack that I make with a grapefruit, which is you peel it. And that's how Janae was born.
Morris and Mavis. Thank you, James. So, check out Toast with Butter. It's a short story, maybe a film someday. Short story that I wrote one day. Has anyone else like had the good fake butter and then that's like not good fake butter? It's just not buttery. It doesn't melt. I don't know why they would go so far as to create a food product that doesn't taste like food. But some people did. And I had this day, again, when I was living in Philly, back in the early days of YouTube. I don't know why that has that accent, but it does. And I was eating this, like, not butter with toast, back when I could still eat gluten, but not dairy. Or maybe it was gluten-free toast, I don't remember. Anyway, I was eating this, and it was so awful that I just started writing. And this old man, Morris voice came out, and I started writing this thing about Morris and Mavis and this little battle inspired by my wonderful grandparents. And she's always trying to get him to cut out cholesterol, and he just wants good food. So check that out. I love it. I read it live in one of my YouTube videos. So check out Toast with Butter. Did I live in New York at one time? How did you learn New York accents? Going away nowadays. I know. What is happening with accents? Keep accents alive. Hashtag. No, I've performed there. I got to perform with a ballet company. Life is so amazing. It's so amazing. I got to perform with an incredible ballet company in San Francisco, and then we took our show to New York, to the Joyce Theater, the incredible Joyce Theater. So this was Polyglot, another incredible accent challenge that I got. Charles Anderson, then the artistic director of Company C Ballet in San Francisco, found my record with Jack White called A Discourse on Accents, and he found this track where Jack had literally just set up two old, beautiful chrome microphones, and he said, do something. So I had a conversation with myself, just improvised through these different, into these different mics, like talking back and forth between selves. And that track, uncut, was put on the record, and Charlie found it, and he choreographed a dance. So his ballet company, who does, or contemporary, all kinds of styles, were dancing in the styles of the accents as I was switching in them. So if you think it's hard to make your mouth do all of these things, imagine changing styles from tango to, ballet to tap. It's amazing. That's also on my channel. If you look up Polyglot is what he called that piece. So we also took it to New York, and then I think dear friend Jamie Job flew to, or no, maybe that was when we did it in San Francisco. Yeah, because he lives in San Francisco and he filmed it for us and some behind the scenes stuff. Yay. My British accent is lovely. And now I know that it is via Disney. Julie Andrews, oh my God, bless her. I'm actually listening to her memoir at the moment. It's gorgeous, called Homework. I think it's her second. Yeah, I actually had to pull out from my singing voice the Julie Andrews little scoops that she does, because I learned listening to her and reading to Mary Poppins, and the differences between, I remember I would just lay there in bed thinking about the differences between Cook and Ellen and the mom and Mary and blessed Dick Van Dyke, who we love, but we don't take Cockney off of him. It's his own world. Apparently he did not have a great coach, but he's a phenom. So yeah, you know, when she goes, early each day to the steps of St. Paul's, the little old bird woman comes in her, you know, and I just didn't, like, I always was paying attention to these things, but I didn't realize how much I was paying attention until 21 Accents went viral and I started talking about what I just did without thinking. And that's when I started sort of breaking down these things and going, oh yeah, what is that? What is that? It's not the, it's the little old. Yeah. So that's when I realized what a nerd I was. I always just was one. And two, it's been so fun on this channel to try out anything. You know, doing like mouth trumpet. Things that I spent hours doing in the bathtub. Now they're part of your repertoire. Yay, The Godfather. Sends his regards. Love it. Making my day right now, Charlie Chapman. Courageous compassion. Yes. I want to see you as Mary one day, says who? Bless you, James. Okay, let's put that out there. Biopic. I actually did work on her in here. How do I feel about Hugh Laurie's American accent in House? I haven't watched much House, but I love Hugh Laurie. We did watch, my man and I watched Avenue 5, which is bizarre and hilarious and wonderful, and Hugh Laurie and Josh Gad. And in that, he's going in and out of it, but I think he's great. I think he's really great. Yes, it's your real name. How cool. Hello, Charlie Chapman Studio. It's like right over there. Yay. What else? What else? I love to hear you try a bit of Spanish accent. Okay. I love Eunice. Can we get more videos with Eunice? Okay. Yeah. We'll do that. Hello from Russia. Дорогой длинною, доночкою, лас песни той, что вдаль летит свинья. That's all I know. Yeah, Eunice. You know how it is for me with inspiration is I don't like to force it. I have been feeling her. I feel like there's gonna be something coming soon. I don't want to say anything. Because also, I like it to be a surprise to me and to you. And then it's authentic. What else do we have? Morrison Mavis. Your voice and video seem out of sync. Oh, well, maybe that's your internet connection. Hopefully it'll be better in the playback. How am I with coronavirus? Bless you. Gratefully, I'm doing really well, and I'm always connected to how everybody's doing as well. So I'm sending out tons of love to everybody. I know it's a lot, but in general, for me, we meaning me and my beloved man Nipun Nair, incredible composer and producer and musician and editor and animator now, and he's just always adding to his hyphens. An amazing human. We're in post-production on a short film, and we meaning the entire team as well, a short film that that we filmed in February that many of you know about. We've been working hard on it for 9 months, almost really a year actually. It's called Into Light. You can check out well, I'll put a link in the chat because I'm about to change it actually. But yes, so for Into Light, it's a true story about Inez Milholland, who was a martyr to the suffrage movement. And, oh, I do have a video about it, so you can check that out too. And we're so close, and you guys, you know how much I love biopics, and the quality of this with the whole team is so glorious. I am so excited. The music that he's writing is beautiful. The entire cast, all of the extras were amazing. And the costumes by my incredible friend Elle, stylist and costume designer, it's really exciting. So I'm so excited. So save the date, August 26th, Equality Day. Online launch, anybody? You didn't hear it here, but you did. Haha. Okay, this has gone on quite long enough. Your mashup of History Has Its Eyes on You and Amazing Grace. So good. Thank you. I've been loving feeling how different songs intersect and intertwine, and how that context changes the context and deepens the meaning of a song. And if you've been watching for as long as I've been doing videos, I used to play with stuff like that a lot when I would just do random stuff. If you look at All of Me for the Vets, that video ages ago, that's another one where the song, All of Me, why not take all of me, you know, written in the 20s or 30s, I believe. Just like this happy love song, when I put it in the context of coming back, you know, being a vet, coming back, a veteran, coming back from the front, and dealing with PTSD. It totally changed the meaning of all of those words. And so for me, that's just really interesting to explore as an actor and performer. Thank you so much. Ooh, also, now it's finally officially announced, I'm in 2 features, 3 this year. Hopefully at least 2 of them will come out. I know it's been interesting with the film industry and just everything these days, but yeah, it was previously called Our Home. It's now called Evan Wood. I play Aunt Jessica. That's the one that I was talking with you all earlier about, if anyone has had to deal with addiction in the family and how challenging that can be. It's a really beautiful family piece, and excited about that. And more details when I know how it will be released and when. And then also Grace and Grit, incredible film. Beautiful story, best-selling, true book as well. So read it in preparation, and I'll let you know more when I know. You're in recovery as well. Blessings. Yeah. Gets easier. And with that, my dears, and then to finish what somebody was saying about, yeah, so in this quarantine time, we're really doing the quarantine thing, have been since early March. And gratefully, a lot of what we do, we can do from home. But I'm doing my best to still, you know, put out new content, although it's been a lot to be in post-production for Into Light, and preparing for maybe a bigger scene for that content as well. Love you. All right, my dears. Blessings, vibes. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching and sharing, and much love. Vibes to you. I hope you feel it. Can you feel it? New stuff coming out next week. Much love. Oh, thank you, Raul. Oh, Sylvania, Ohio. So cool. All right, much love. Bye, dears.